Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Down and Dirty with the Badger State Tractor Pullers Association. And tonight we're going to, at first part of the show, we're going to be recapping what was a very busy week on the circuit for the Badger State Tractor Pullers. We got the boys from the Lafayette County Tractor Pullers on here tonight, Bill Smith and Lee Ruff, and we'll be recapping the most recent excursion of Darlington. And also we had a big pull that started out at Edgerton, and we went to Jefferson, Baraboo, and then Darlington all in 1 week. And that's when you start separating I don't want to say the men from the boys, but the ones that will keep running all year and the ones that will probably suffer a little bit of breakage along the ways. And then later on, we're going to have a gentleman from the East Central Iowa guys that are going to be talking about the first visit of the Badger State Tractor Pullers to the Great Jones County Fair in Monticello, Iowa. And we'll be kind of highlighting that as it really doesn't let up this week at all. We go to Monticello on Wednesday, Monroe on Thursday, and Helenville on Friday. So it's another back-to-back performance again this week. And it's the grueling part of the season. And one thing about it is you'll see a lot of first-time winners generally, because some of the guys will start falling off after a bit here, and then the guys have been just sitting there all the time, they'll jump in there and take advantage of the situation once in a while. So anyway, we got Greg Elsing here, our president of our Badger State Tractor Pullers Association, who's been overseeing this onslaught of pulling that we've been enjoying. And I think what I find interesting is that I don't think we've had a rain out, have we? Considering we've had rain almost all the time and inches of it every other day around these parts. We're getting ready to have a big storm out here right now. I think Lee and Bill, it's probably stormed over through Darlington right now, or just a little bit earlier, hadn't it?
Yeah, we're getting a pile of rain right now. The road out in front of my house, you can't see the yellow line. She's covered in water, and we got tornado warnings and everything else. I think Bill's trying to get on, but I think he's having problems with his internet.
Yeah, I was wondering about that. I was watching the weather, because what you guys got is coming my way, so I'm out there moving stuff around and taking all my floatables and combustibles or whatever, and putting them away. So yeah, we're not just getting rain, we're getting storms, but so far everybody's survived them pretty good, I guess. So Greg, I'll let you talk to the boys about Darlington. I wasn't there, but it sounds like you were.
I was there. It was a good show. A lot of people there. Darlington is packed as usual, and really Darlington is one of them pulls that's a legend in the state, right, Lee? Everybody talks to it. Everybody wants to pull there, right?
Yeah, I guess everybody.
Why do you think that is?
We keep getting a good crowd, and we keep getting lots of tractors coming back. But I wish Bill was here to talk. He's been a promoter of this pull for years and years and years, and was kind of one of the guys to first get it going and get it as big as it is today.
Right. Well, Darlington is the very first Badger State tractor puller I believe I ever went to. I don't know if Lodi was the night before one time, but I don't know if that was a Badger State puller, just a bunch of Badger State pullers going there. I don't think it was, but Darlington was the first pull I ever went to. And that's back in the day when we used to pull at noon. Everybody pulled twice always back in the day.
Yep,
we pulled at noon, and we pulled again at 7 o'clock at night. Well, meanwhile, in between, your Uncle Mark comes up. He's got the back of the pickup full of beer and ice, plump full. And I said, well, this is where I fit in.
Yeah,
and we this is your time. That pickup for the 3 hours between the shows and had a heck of a good time. I made a lot of good friends that day, and I haven't left since. So,
yeah,
it's one of my fondest memories of tractor pulling that day. We weighed FS up in the hill and came down to the pole.
Yeah.
So what year would that have been, Greg?
92, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. 1992.
The fact that we're celebrating the 50th anniversary of the Badger State Tractor Pullers this year, I believe Darlington has been on the schedule for all 50 years of the Badger State Tractor Pullers. Am I right on that, Lee?
No. That very well could be. No,
it's not. We got in a peeing match one time, and NTPA was there one year.
Uh-oh.
It was all over Henry, Illinois. Because they had a pull in Henry in the same day. Remember?
Yep.
And then, but they learned their lesson. I mean, I shouldn't say learn your lesson, but they seen the difference. and we were back the next year no matter what.
Yeah.
So yep, I always remember that. I tried to do everything I could to make everybody happy, and some days you just can't, right?
That's right.
Yep.
Really? You can't?
Exactly right.
Nope, you can't.
So,
Nope.
hey, Lee, you guys have got a committee over there, the Lafayette County Tractor Pullers. Am I correct on that?
Yes, we do.
How many folks you guys got on that committee?
Oh, we got probably a good 15 at least, depending on, give or take. But
okay,
yeah,
it's not
we
an
got a really good
exclusive club.
committee. What's that?
It's not an exclusive club where you got, you got a waiting list or something like that.
No. No, we got, like I said, a good group of guys. That's really what helps make the pull go easy as it does. We got help. We got people going out and getting sponsors to make it all happen. People donating their time down there, prepping the track and getting things ready. And like I said, well, Greg knows there's a lot of behind the scenes things that have to take place to make a tractor pull run smoothly. And you can't do it without a lot of good help and, a good committee to back it.
Right. Well, I really feel we had two of the pulls this of our season, Baraboo and Darlington, where they do have a lot of help at their events.
Mm-hmm.
You see it. You see other events where they have guys that work really hard, but there isn't a lot of them, But
yeah,
I think in Darlington you have a crew.
Yep.
And you get her done. And I'm glad Mark's not driving the water truck anymore. He fell or stopped in front of the beer tent and let it leak all day. I was at a mud.
Yeah, he was down there though. He was giving us a little coaching tip here and there this year, so it was good to see him.
He gave me a ride at the end to go
involved
get a cheeseburger.
again.
Yeah, he gave me a ride in the car to get a cheeseburger at that little hut behind the grandstands.
Yeah,
at the end of the night. Yeah.
Yep.
So I don't know who makes them cheeseburgers, but they're awesome.
Yeah.
Yep. But Darlington turned out, it was great. We were done. Honestly, I think if we wouldn't have had the problem with the hook, we'd have been done before 10 o'clock, right?
Yeah, I think it was just a touch out over 10 there when it got over. And
it was 10, 11. Yep. We had a hook. The hook wouldn't go into a couple tractors, and we had to make it work, and we did. We figured it all out and got it going.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, it was.
That's how it goes, right?
That's right.
Right.
But
So how'd you do Saturday night then, Lee?
I think I ended up 5th. We were
okay.
First hook, and we came. Well, they re-rated the sled, and we came back, and we ended up 5th. So. Yeah. Like I always say, it's a win when we didn't break anything. So.
It is. If you get to drive it back in the trailer, that's a good feeling.
Sometimes that's just a win right there.
Yeah.
If you've been having a rough year. Right. If you've been having a rough year with breaking stuff, when you finally make a pass and it runs good and you don't break anything, man, you're happy. You don't even care where you placed. Right?
Yep. That's right.
Hey, Lee,
you went.
Lee, do you guys ever get a rough idea of numbers as far as fans that come into the Lafayette County Fair for the tractor pull?
Not, like I said, as far as gate numbers, I'm not 100% sure on that.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, I always do an after action. I have to do an after action thing for Lucas Oil, and I guess 3,000 people between the grandstands, the beer tent, and the pits. I hope I'm pretty close to that.
Yeah, I would say that or a little bit over that.
Right. Maybe.
Yeah.
So capacity. Yep. So,
but yeah, there was a good crowd. That's for sure. There was people. The grandstands were full. The infield was full. It was definitely probably one of our bigger crowds.
Right. It was as full as I've ever seen it.
Mm-hmm. And it's a good thing it did get over when it did, because it didn't take long, and Mother Nature took a toll on us. And boy, did we get a downpour. We were talking about that earlier, Greg, but man, it come down hard.
Well, we were walking over to the beer tent to have a couple beers, and then it started raining. And Mason said, "We got to get out of here before we can't."
Yeah.
So we got out. As we're going across the track in that little gate, some guy parks a pickup right in front of us and goes to the porta pot right there.
Oh,
we're
boy.
stuck on the track.
Were you crossing the track there?
What's that?
Where you have to cross the track there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the beer tent, we kind of were in the pits parked, and we came around, and we're going to shoot across the track, and we're following his pickup, and all of a sudden he gets to the edge of the track there, and he stops.
Oh,
I thought, oh, we're screwed now. We're not going to get going now, but we did get going and got out of there. But I said, what the heck are you thinking?
Yeah.
If that guy's listening, you could have parked to the side.
Yeah.
Closer to the porta potty.
Or at least looked in his mirror and realized he had a semi trying to get through.
Right. But that's the way it goes, right? We made it. It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah.
So I've got a lot of texts today, too, about hiring the DJ from the beer tent there. From some people. You know, I should say a lot of texts. A couple texts. It must be a good DJ, but we've already hired a band for the banquet. So,
sure.
You know, so, yeah, it is what it is, right? But, you know, so next year.
Yep.
But,
what else? It was a pretty good. Go ahead.
Yep.
I'm saying that, you know, even after the poll there, we had a heck of a crowd. After the poll, it even stuck around. It was pretty impressive. So,
was the beer tent full?
It was plumb full.
Yep, I'll bet. Underneath the tent, they weren't standing out in that rain as hard as it was.
No,
coming down.
You had one option: be in the beer tent or go home,
get wet.
So, yeah.
Yep. So, what is as the fair goes? I mean, what is your guys' biggest when you make the money? What is your goal? I mean, what are you going to buy with the money you make from the event? You know, or is you to pay for a new cattle barn, or do you know what they do with it, or where does
Bill?
It go?
Can you hear us yet?
Yeah, I'm on.
Okay. You'd have a better answer on that than me.
So any of the money that makes the fair's all county funded, other than like our poll. We have a lot of great sponsors, of course. But so all the money made from the poll goes back into the county. And, you know, they fund the grounds and, you know, try to make improvements and that sort of thing with the proceeds.
Okay. Well, that's what a lot of people always ask when you make money. What do they use it for? And I always say, hey, they're building a cattle barn, they're supporting agriculture, doing whatever, you know, and that's what everybody likes, you know, that's why we're there, right?
That's right.
That's, you know. So did you get anything bought at the animal sale, Bill?
Yeah, we actually bought the Grand Champion hog.
Did you?
Yep.
Perfect.
Yep.
You're going to butcher it up and have a party and eat it?
No, we put her on the market.
Okay. Just let her go, recoup a little bit.
Yeah. So we got plenty of pork in the freezer. We didn't need to add any more.
Well, I was wondering if that was some of the pork chops that we ate there. That was a great meal you guys had there. So far, that one's winning my vote for favorite meal of the year.
Yeah, Paul Yeager, this is his first year that he's cooked for us, and he did a tremendous job. I've had some of his cooking in the past at some other events, and I said, this is a must. We got to get him in here, and he did a great job.
And a lot of times it's just easier to hire somebody to do it, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, we've always catered it every year, and, you know, we've tried to do a good job with it. But like I said, when he started doing this, and he does it very reasonable, and he loves tractor pulling, so it was just a great addition.
It was, yeah. Nice. Yep. So, but Chris Feller says he's going to have a better meal. So it's going to take a lot to top that one. You know,
I'm sure old Feller, he'll just dig into the pot and he'll beat us.
It'll be good. Yep.
They'll have steak and lobster or something like that.
Yeah, he's going to need prime rib and lobster to beat that one. Yeah, I told him that.
I think I'm going to go up there, even if my tractor's not running, just to make sure I get his meal.
Yep.
Go up there and be a taste tester.
There you go.
Yeah. Hey, you guys, Bill and Lee, how often does the fairgrounds down there in Darlington get flushed out from the river down there?
Oh, we don't get completely flushed out, but like right now, this morning in turn 3 and 4 on the track, there was probably close to 3 feet of water in the grass and down on the low side of the track, and the infield or back in the pit area between the track and the river. It was backing up in there. So it hasn't been a complete washout down there all year, but it's been on the track probably. I'd say this is the 4th time this spring, probably.
Yeah.
Right. And this shot of rain rolling through there tonight is probably going to press the issue a little bit, I'm guessing.
Yeah, trust me, we don't need much rain upriver on the Pecatonica, or we're going to have a lot of problems.
Yeah. So like that water in the infield, you have to pump that out usually, right?
Well, no, there's actually, we did, Matt Chris that runs the races, he did actually pump it off there on around 4th of July because he was having planning on a big 4th of July race, and he got in there with a lagoon pump and pumped it off. And there is a valve on a culvert that goes to the river, but it backs up through that valve. The valve was shut and he got it pumped off, but apparently it's leaking by. And we got 2 inches of rain again that night. And
Yeah, looks like we lost him again.
Hey, Greg.
But yeah,
Can you explain what happened in the Super Farm class? We had a couple questions. Can you explain why the hook wasn't going in?
Well, Johnny's a Class
The
8
best you
sled.
can.
What's that?
It's a complicated, it's a weird situation. Right. So, however, just simple.
And there was a couple, even like in the Pro Stock class, we weren't able to use Johnny's sled because of the hook. A couple of the tractors there. Once we had the problem there, there's a little notch on top of the hook that NTPA requires now, so it doesn't come unhooked. It looks like a 1x1 square piece of flat iron they weld on top. And once you get it in, supposedly a hook's not going to come unhooked. But if it ain't catching it, it's still going to come out, I think.
Yeah, because they only use one chain.
Rules. What's that?
They just use one chain in NTPA.
Yep, they use one chain, and they thought this, and like all the tractors at Super Farm made it except for Jason Vinny's tractor, and his hole in his hitch was legal to our rules, but the NTPA rule, ours is 4.5, and NTPA I believe is 4 3/4 if I just remember off the top of my head now, and it just happened this year because we've hooked Johnny in the past and never had a problem. But once we had that problem, we went around and measured other classes. The truck class was all right. Johnny could hook them. All their hitches were big enough. But in the Pro Stock class, there was 2 tractors in our class that wouldn't have gotten the hook in either. So we had to use Josh on, which is fine. Use Josh on the Pro Stocks. And I don't know what the other classes, if they, other than Super Farm, the trucks and Limited Pro must have been on Josh's sled, I think, because we didn't have any problems there either. But the little tab, we could not get the thing in Vinny's tractor, and he was the last tractor in the class. And we kind of told the class, you have the option of either taking even points and money or pulling the class over. And they voted, it was like, 5 to 6 or something, or 4 to 5 to not pull again, just take even points and money, which is fine. But, and it was not Jason Vinny's fault. I mean, he never moved the sled. We never got the hook in his tractor to move the sled. We backed him out there, tried it again, and tried to make it work. It just didn't work. We just have to make sure that the sled that's coming is able to get that hook in all the vehicles, So now we have to measure everybody's, hook holes. If they're 4 3/4, it just made me think I should call Monticello. I don't remember whose sled is out there, and if it's a Bauer sled, they probably have that hook on it, right?
It'll be Bungard.
Bungard?
Yeah.
Well,
so he might have, because I think it's the North American Sled Association that follows that same rule.
Right.
So you might want to check with Brandon.
I will, and then just have to make sure that everybody's got 4 3/4 inches in their hook, in the hole, so that hook can fall through. To me, it don't make any sense, because if you get it in, it's going to come out, right? It might catch it a little bit, but it probably won't. But everybody's got to make their rule to, do something and be ahead of the game, they figure. But it was, and I know there's some bad talk on Facebook from somebody, but the class voted themselves what to do. Your peers voted what we should do. You had two options, and they voted between the two options, and that's what else do you do, right? You know,
it was just a weird situation.
It was. It was not Vinny's fault. Their hitch was built to the pro pulling league specs in the rule book. So how do you disqualify them if they followed the rules and our equipment that we're using didn't work? You know, so I don't know. Like I said, you can't keep everybody happy.
No.
You know, it just doesn't work.
Yeah, we ran into that situation down south on a mini rod sled this year. They were able to get us all hooked, but boy, it was a real struggle because they really almost had to come underneath and get the hook dropped in. You know, almost reverse hook it to get the hook because it's got an anti-kick out device added to it also, and it was new to us. You know, we're sitting there, you know, burning down. And we're like, what's going on? And they're trying to get us hooked up. And it was just a real struggle. And especially when you got a guy that's hooking tractors that doesn't hook tractors all the time, you know, that's when it really becomes a struggle. But after he gets the hang of it for the first couple of them, then he's like, oh, okay, I got to, you know, the way I got to hook them up is just instead of just dropping the hook, they actually have to almost like feed it in. You know what I'm saying? Right.
Well, we tried with Jason's tractor, but it wasn't hitting his hook. It was hitting his casting of his rear end housing.
Oh, geez.
So, you know, it wasn't hitting the hook. The hook, if he loaded his drawbar 2 inches, it would have went in. Well, then there's no sense in pulling if you're doing that.
Right.
You know, I thought about, well, can we lower it and then crank it back up 2 inches? Just take a tape measure out there and do it. But that wouldn't have been fair. What happens if you crank it up 1.5 inches or 2.5 inches? You know, when he wins, it ain't right either, right?
Right.
You know,
right.
Yeah. So, and then you'd had to lower it at the other end to get it out, you know? So it was it's just one of them things, you know, under shit happens, right? You know, just make the best of it, what you can, and move on. Don't we do that every day in our lives?
Yeah.
You know,
pretty much.
Yeah. Yep. You know, and anybody have any suggestions what we should have done different? We don't know. I mean, Dirk and I talked it over and we said, hey, this is our best option. This is what it is. You know, and I know everybody's going to be happy, and you can't make everybody happy.
Well, at that point, you're just trying to make the show keep moving.
Yes, you got to keep the show moving. And people are getting sick of us watching us sit and try to get the hook in it. You know, and we spent 10 minutes doing it, and we couldn't get it in there. You know, so, you know, it is what it is. Move on and get over it and come back out and win next time. Right?
Yeah, we only got 20 pulls to go yet this year, so yeah, move on to the next one.
Yeah. Right. So I'll have to call Brandon Bungard and see if he's got that damn tab on his hook too.
Yeah, I think it's the rule will be very similar to Johnny's. I think.
I do too. It's a Class 8 sled rule, you know, and Johnny's is the only certified Class 8 sled in Wisconsin, so he does that, you know. But and they're not needed very often to be a Class 8 sled, and you know, I don't think Josh wants to pay that insurance and pay that extra if I don't need it, you know.
Yeah.
So I really don't know how the rules have changed. Then I haven't paid attention to it. Years ago I did, but I don't anymore.
Yeah. Well, we had Bungard sled at Mackville,
but none of our classes pulled on it.
Yeah, Badger State didn't pull on it.
Okay.
Yep. So we'll find out. He's been there. He's been at other places too. So I will call him or text him tonight after the show and ask him if he's got that tab on it and anti-kick out device or whatever you call it, right?
Yeah.
You know, so
yeah.
Like I said, it would make it harder for the hook to come out, but not a lot harder, I don't think. You know, It depends on how they cut the notch in front of the drawbar.
So Lee and Bill, what's the? I know you guys probably start planning for next year's pull this week already. What are you guys thinking for next year now? You got any different things you're going to try to add, change, make it different? What are you thinking?
I mean, we always try to do our best to keep that track from getting hard. I know we talked about making some changes there to keep it from getting hard to help everybody get hooked up a little bit better. But other than that, nothing too drastic that I'm aware of.
Yeah.
I said,
I said, you know, we talked about hooking the pro stocks earlier, but then the people don't hang around, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
Yep. Brandon Sled had the top tab on the hook in Shipshewana trip says. So maybe he shaved it off a little bit to make it work. Because Johnny said to me after that, he said, I could shave it off a little bit to make it work after the fact. I said, why didn't you say that when we were out there?
Right.
But that's what it is, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, because you'll have Brandon Sled in Freeport, I'm sure.
Yeah, he'll be there too.
Yep. So, but I'm sure Jason Vinny pulled in Shipshewana or in Shapir. I would imagine, it'd probably work there, but
Yeah.
I don't know. Anybody, like I said, anybody has suggestions what to do and how to handle it, I'm all ears. But that's what we did. So, what, Bill, you back?
Maybe.
Kind of.
Yeah,
My internet is not working very well.
Yeah.
I suppose
Yeah,
the storm isn't helping, is it?
Greg, have you got
storm's
anything
got
else for Lee and Bill before we move on?
I do not. I just want to thank them for having a great show again and having a great meal. I mean, everybody enjoys coming to Darlington. It's a party. It's a lot of fun, and it's a good, one of the best pulling bases in the country for fans, that really enjoy it and really are knowledgeable of what to do.
Yeah, it's really not just a truck and tractor pull. It's an event. It's a happening. It's a community uprising. I think is what it really is there. I believe.
Right, and I want to thank Bill and Brian Saunders for the additional money in the limited pro class for the shootout, an extra $1,500 for the first in the shootout, $1,250 I think for second, and $1,000 for third. Is that how it went, Bill? That was great.
Yeah, real close to that. We had a couple other sponsors that pitched in on that too. It was just really nice to have that extra money.
It is, and I know my boys made it, and they never thought they would, and they said, no matter what, we're getting an extra $1,000. Let's do it. So they were all excited about it because they're getting a bill for their old turbo getting fixed, so they were very happy to get that. So I appreciate that. I know they do too. So thanks a lot, guys, and that makes a great pull, something like that in the end. So want to thank you guys for coming on, and we'll get stuff ready for Darlington next year. So still there?
Thanks, guys. I apologize for my connection being so bad tonight.
But Mother Nature wins again. Nope. Mother Nature wins again.
Yep.
Yeah, just not cooperating tonight.
Yeah.
Nope. So, well, we're gonna bring. I think it's Ryan on.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yep, we got him.
There we go. How you doing, Ryan?
We survived the derecho tonight too. So, about 2.5 inches of rain, 2 inches of rain in about an hour and a half. So
Did you guys get the 70-mile-an-hour winds over there too, Ryan?
We got about up maybe 50, 60 where I live at. This TV was saying 70, 90 up by towards Dubuque. So I seen some roof blown off up there by Keeler. So yeah.
Wow.
Now, Ryan, are you down by Monticello?
Yeah, I live up just north of Cedar Rapids, which is about, 30 miles away from Monticello. So, yeah,
okay,
they're no stranger to getting rain, so we'll be just fine tomorrow and Wednesday. Okay.
So Ryan, are you one of the kingpins of the Great Jones County Fair there in Monticello? Then?
No, I am not. I'm on my county fair board just to the west of Jones County, but you can consider me kind of the manager of ECI. So.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I kind of take care of all of Tim Vorwald's stuff behind the scenes. So
Tim said he didn't like coming on and talking. He's not a talker. When I asked him in Darlington,
we were supposed to have a poll tonight down in Washington, Iowa, and we called that earlier today, which is probably a good thing because all the rain didn't make anybody drive, just to get rained out. So they actually canceled all their events at the fair, all their shows, and they moved up stuff. Didn't want anybody on the grounds after like 6 o'clock. So,
wow, yeah,
just trying to be preventive maintenance, so nobody gets hurt, nobody gets caught in any storms. Or we've had that derecho here 2020 that was 110 mile an hour winds for like 45 minutes. So everybody's a little bit gun shy, I suppose. But yeah, so
what can you tell us about the Great Jones County Fair in Monticello that we got coming up here in a few days? I've known they've had pulling there for years.
Oh, they've been pulling there for probably since the 60s, if not earlier. It's always been an NTPA show, and they decided to try something new this year, and they brought in Badger State and Western Series, and so I think we're going to see some different iron that we haven't seen for a long time, and I think everybody in the crowd's going to like it. So I know we've got the big pros coming, and there's a whole slug of those that live just 20 miles away. So I'm sure there'll be a good showing of those.
Yep.
Yeah.
You got the late limiteds also coming from Badger State, and they co-sanctioned with the Western Series, I believe.
Yep, and I'm sure there'll be plenty of our guys that'll stay the night and pull 2 nights in a row. And I wouldn't be surprised if some Badger State guys don't do the same thing. So
yeah, you just answered my question, Ryan. I was going to say, are the ECI guys pulling at the fair then?
Oh yeah.
Yep. And when?
So we pull there on Tuesday night, tomorrow night, with our classes. I think we got 6 or 7 classes there tomorrow, and I think the only ones I think we got 3 classes that overlap. So I think 4 1s are there on Wednesday night too, right?
Yep.
So we'll have 4 1s on Tuesday and Wednesday, and it'll be good.
Right.
Plus the 2-wheel drives, big super mods.
Yep.
I'm sure we'll get a bunch of the Farley crew and Lamont's and those guys, and some other by Manchester from Sullivan's and Simons, and you name them. Bring all the Timmermans over.
Yep. Good. So I heard it's always been a pretty good track. That's what we're all looking for.
Yeah, it's always been a nice track. Yep. So they got a big stage, big grandstand, and it's great. They got a great sound system. You can hear everywhere in the pits. You can hear everywhere in the stands. They got a big, huge grassy area along the turns 1 of the racetrack. They fill that up with people every year. So it'll be a nice show.
Good. Hopefully the weather looks good for Wednesday night.
Yeah, it looks great. I think it's going to be the first time in years that there hasn't been any type of weather in the forecast. So So
and
that's
not
good.
100 degrees down there.
Yeah. Ryan knows what it's like down there in the middle of the day. Because we used to pull on Wednesday afternoons, and then before the NTPA pull on Wednesday nights, and it was brutal down there, hot, and so then they decided to move us to Tuesday night, and so 2 nights in a row, and they had better showing, made more money, and they decided to stick with it.
It's hard to have a pull in a week. It's hard to have a pull in a weekday, and when people are working and trying to get off, it's tough.
It's tough, and but we always had pretty good numbers during the daytime, because it was usually, I think we started at noon, and it just was a lot of work on the fair board running 2 pulls in the same day, because they wear themselves out getting ready, and then having to do it all over again at night. So that's a lot to ask on a volunteer crew. So
does that fair run a full week, start on Monday and go through Sunday?
Tomorrow would be their free day, so it's basically a Tuesday through Sunday fair. So they may have some 4-H things going on today, getting stuff ready, maybe some static judging or something like that. But tomorrow night, Tuesday night, will be their first full night of a full day of fair. And then so they do 2 nights of tractor pulling, and then they do, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday nights full concerts. So
Yeah, I know they got Laney Wilson coming in on Thursday night. Can you hook me up with some tickets?
Well, if you want to stay, then I can hook you up. I got a bartend down there on the track on Thursday night, so I gotta serve beer over there as part of my county fair. We go over there and we help them out. So
I would definitely like to see you stay and see Laney Wilson. We have to pull Thursday night in Greene County Fair in Monroe.
sure, in Monroe.
Yeah.
Greg, we're gonna have to get Monroe to move to Friday night, and then we'll push Hellenville to Saturday.
I'll take some pictures.
I want a weekend off though. Saturday night off is
Yeah.
So they got it's really nice. They got big screens all the way up on the grandstand side of things over there. So they do replays and all kinds of cool stuff over there, which is really nice. Okay. So that'll be really cool. Yep.
And then Ryan Zolik, will you be able to patch into those big screens that they have there at the fairgrounds then?
I mean, I could ask them if they want my feed, but I don't know if they'll take it.
They might. I'm not sure on that, Ryan. I don't know how that would work. I guess I can always ask tomorrow night. That way, maybe you can be prepared. But yeah, I don't know how all that works. So,
right.
No.
Interesting.
Ryan's the guy at that. That's his specialty, figuring that stuff out. He's done great.
I mean, I could easily send it to him very easily. So,
yeah, I don't know how
they'll take it or not.
Because they have their own cameras and crew. They hire somebody for all the concerts, so they're there for the entire week. And so they got their own camera crew, and they feed into that. Like I said, I don't know what you would need to have the hookups. So,
I mean, it'd be
it's a great facility. So Ryan, you've been there multiple times. So great pits, easy to get to. You can see how to get in there.
Yeah, here's the.
Is that the map for our app, Brian?
Yeah, it's on. I posted that today on Facebook.
Okay.
For those, because I know pretty much all of our guys, this will be their first time pulling there, besides probably Brandon Coates.
Yep. So it'll be. I know
it's pretty easy to get to. It's just knowing which direction you need to go.
There is a tight turn. If you go back to that map, if you could.
Yeah, I looked at it. I think they can make that.
Where you turn to go right there to the north. I don't know if you can point to it or not, but that is kind of a sharp turn right through town. Sometimes we recommend having guys maybe go down to the next exit and going straight up that way. There's a side road instead of the main drag, so it's a straight shot instead of having to turn right there downtown. You could do it. It's the truck route, but sometimes these guys bring in them haulers that are 100 feet long. So it gets a little tight versus a regular old grain truck or something like that. So,
right.
But yeah, as long as they're there early, take their time, they'll be just fine.
Okay.
So,
what are you looking forward to the most for having us there, Ryan?
Seeing different iron that we don't ever see, and I think that's what the fair's looking for too. Light pros are going to be fun to have. I don't think we've had them on the eastern side of our state for maybe ever. So, so I'm hoping that we pull in some guys from Missouri and maybe out on Western Iowa a little bit that might show up that don't normally come play. Yeah, so that'll be kind of neat, I think. Not to mention, I think we might get some Missouri guys come up for the light super stocks, light limited supers. They like to come play with us once in a while, and they might make it a 2-day deal. Yep. So I think that'd be kind of neat.
Co-sanctioned with Western Series. So,
yep.
It's the Western Series like limited super stock, but I think all of our Badger State guys are pretty much coming over.
Yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see a dozen of them, maybe more than that. So
yeah, and then with your guys' light limiteds, and so
yep.
I'm highly suspecting a battle royal in the big pro stock class. Am I thinking down the right spot there?
Yeah, I think there's going to be some locals that are gunning for trying to take home the trophy. So
yep. I was talking to Jason Saturday night. He thought RJ and Simon and would be over there to pull with us, and we'll see. Right?
Yeah, they might. I know they got to go to Chapel Hill later this weekend, so that may or may not. We'll see what they want to do. So
it's early enough in the week.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll have their. I always joke that they need to have their own train to haul all their equipment when they go to these pulls, because they bring. I don't know how many they got, but between all the 2-wheel drives and everything else that they got, I'm sure they'll. But I'm sure they got to hire the whole town of Farley sometimes to drive all their tow rigs.
Right, and get them ready too. We struggle with 2 of them, and I can't imagine having the whole crew they've got.
No kidding.
So keeping them running. But
Ryan, do you pull anything yourself?
No, I do not. I'm not that dumb. No, I
You're
don't.
Right.
I was used to do what Ryan does and take videos for years and years and years, and then I kind of got burned out of doing that and took a back seat, and now I'm kind of doing all of our kind of do what he does for Badger State, but on the ECI side. So handle all the website, the contract, a lot of contracts, a lot of all the promoter relations, sponsor stuff, you name it, kind of behind the scenes stuff, and then go to the polls and just actually sit back and watch for the most part, which is a lot more enjoyable. So
that behind the scenes stuff, that's your job, your long job. That's a full-time job.
It is a full-time job. So it's every day, all day. I mean, I could spend 4 hours a day easily, just working on stuff, just promotion and you name it.
Right. We have
you
have
guys
3
are
or
at
4 people that
25.
do it. That helps.
We
What's
have
that, Ryan?
27 this year.
Yeah, 27. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
are you there yet?
No, he muted himself, or he lost his mic.
Oh, yeah. Nope. But did he say you had 27 events this year?
I think. He said ECI had 27.
That's
so
enough.
That's a lot.
yeah, there you go. You got me again.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have 27 hooks this year, which is a lot. I think we've had is we're right where we've been at for the most. We picked up a pull in Rockwell, Iowa at the end of the year, which will be but that's 2 nights in a row, Friday, Saturday night, the same place. So it's not like it's a whole separate pull. I mean, it's just a big weekend. So so that'll be nice.
Yep. Do you guys look? Do you look for more events, or do they just come to you? They
come to us. We don't really go out and solicit more polls. In fact, we've actually had to turn down quite a few actually, just because they're on top of other polls, and we just don't have the manpower and trying to split classes, and it's just difficult to do.
Yep. And some of the pullers want more events, but it burns your staff out.
Oh, it does. That's what you got to. I mean, it's hard. Tech guys, crew, you name it, dragging trailers every which way, and it's a full-time gig for those guys, just like you guys know.
Yep, the pullers show up and they just set up camp,
and I always say
on the track, and like I said, the pullers set up camp, open their cooler up, get their tractor tech, make their blast, and sit around. But the staff has to work the whole event every time.
Totally, and they're there. They're showing up at noon, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and pull don't start till 6:30, and help them get the track ready, make sure it's what you want, and then they're the last ones to leave.
They are.
So
they are. Yep, and it's hard on the staff. So I always try to. We do not pull on Sundays. Our staff wants off on Sundays.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we only have. I think we only have 1 hook on a Sunday. So, we try to eliminate that. Unless the 4th of July falls on a Sunday, then we'll have 1 more. But we try to limit those. And we, like I said, I'm sure you guys have to turn down stuff too once in a while, just because hey, you got this date open. Well, when's your fair? And he goes, well, it's the middle of July. I'm like, good luck. So.
That's exactly what I say to them. They want to hire us, and I say, "What's your date?" And I said, "We're busy." I'm sorry, we're busy.
Yeah, it's Saturday in the middle of July. Not going to happen. Unfortunately.
Yeah, about 5. Go ahead, Stacey.
Well, I was just going to say, and the pullers, if they want more polls, they can go find them. I mean,
Totally.
It doesn't have to be with any one association. There's plenty of
Absolutely
stuff
right.
out there, especially this time of year right now. I mean, holy smokes. We just
Yep.
got done. Well, we're going to go poll tomorrow night in Peoria, and that'll be our 4th mini rod hook in 5 days. I mean,
Oh, absolutely.
but that we choose to do that. You know, we're going through 3 different organizations to do that because we're still crazy.
Right. Well, you guys are all retired. That helps, Stacy.
Yeah, it gives more free time to do it. Yeah, exactly.
It does. I can't wait till I get to that point in my life. Retired. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we had that starting last Thursday. We're looking at 11 hooks in 14 days is what it comes out to. That's enough. So
that's too many.
Yeah.
I think the most hooks
and like you say, there's not one class that'll go to all them polls, but your staff is going to go to all them polls. And those are the people you got to think about.
Yeah.
Right.
We got a couple classes that are pretty darn close to making majority of them, but not all of them. You know, they get a few days off here and there, you know. But yeah, your crew and your tech guys, they're making it to pretty much all of them. So they do try to, some of those guys, some of those guys want to do that though. I mean, that's more power to them and we appreciate that. So
yeah,
I try to limit each one of our classes to 17 or 18 hooks a year. You know,
yeah, we try to too,
and don't get enough.
And then yeah.
So Ryan, now this being the Badger State's first visit to the great Jones County Fair down in Monticello, what should our pullers expect? You know, getting there and everything. Is there anything that'd be out of the ordinary for them to see or expect when they get there? And conversely, what's the fair board expecting from the Badger State tractor pullers?
Well, they should get used to seeing a lot of Hawkeye flags. But other than that, it's pretty much the same as how it goes up in Wisconsin at a pull.
No Iowa State flags.
There'll be a few of them. Yeah, unfortunately, but
because one of our pullers' sons is the starting center for Iowa State.
Oh, really?
Yep.
So
Craig Ladwig's son is starting center for. Well, he started in the bowl game. I know that last fall, and I watched it. Watched him pull. Craig. Yep. Go Cyclones. There's Craig Watson.
So, but yeah, no, the fair board, they're really easy to work with. They're a good group of guys. They're all 100% on board for truck and tractor pulling. So, yeah, they're all in it. They love it. So we'll have all the right equipment there that we need, and they're more than willing to help, and I think they're excited actually. So yeah, like I said, it's a good, easy, flat pit area. It's graveled all the way in. It's a racetrack, but I mean, parking on grass and gravel driveways, and maybe if you stay there late enough, you'll see Laney's tour bus come in. So on Wednesday night.
All right.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
I'm
cool.
coming down to call the show for Badger State, and I'm really excited to be heading down that way. You know, we're pulling a Peoria tomorrow night, and then I'm heading right on up to Monticello on Wednesday. So I'm looking.
The nice thing about the Jones County Fair, they advertise it as the Great Jones County Fair in Food Fest. So up on top of the hill behind the grandstand, and I bet there's probably 40 food trailers. So
okay, good.
Yeah, they got everything under the sun that you can imagine. So
my kids
I won't have to eat a corn dog.
Yeah.
Nope. Yeah, you'll have plenty of food choices to pick from. So go up there before the poll starts and get anything you want. And yeah, it's a nice place. So
my kids do a video on YouTube. My kids do a video on YouTube talking about the food.
Oh, I'm sorry.
They do.
Ryan, somebody just put.
Go ahead, Stacey.
I just going to say, Ryan, somebody just put a message up about security at the Great Jones County Fair. Is that something that
they can be occasionally, because they'll probably be there setting up for Thursday night on the stage. So they probably they want to be able to get that set up. They'll probably be working on that during the poll. So I don't know what their protocol is like letting guys stand up on the stage or whatnot to watch or anything like that. But they're usually, it just depends. I mean, because they have the hole behind the stage all gated off. with chain link and whatnot. But then again, I mean, that's where they got a lot of moving parts back there too, getting ready. I mean, because they'll bring in 30, 40,000 people on for these concerts. So
wow,
it's a big production.
It's just something everybody should be aware of, that there's going to be more than just a couple of red cops watching the gate down there. There's going to be a lot of other stuff going on.
And yeah, you should be able to park haulers there overnight. That shouldn't be an issue. I know a lot of guys have done that in the past. So I don't foresee anybody having a problem with that. I mean, they're going to want you to get you out of there before, not stay there all day long on Thursday, but you know, if you want to take off by 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, I don't think that'd be any issue at all. So
getting back to the food things up there, the kids do a cheese curd review.
Oh, sure.
And they at every event, you know, on their YouTube channel. And which is there more than one cheese curd tent they should visit, or which one should they go to?
There's a handful of different ones up there. I mean, yeah, I don't know what. I don't think there's a specific one that's known for their cheese curds, but there's a bunch. There's a handful of different ones up there, and yeah, they're all good. I mean, it's hard to beat a good cheese curd.
Yeah, we're close enough to Wisconsin where there's a couple Wisconsin vendors that come over to Monticello. Okay.
All right. Well, Chuck said something about a tenderloin sandwich there.
Yes.
I'm a tenderloin guy. So where was that?
Chucky's Tenderloins. They're out of they're oh my gosh, they are good. So they're actually, I don't know if you guys have any Freddy's restaurants around your area or not, but they actually using Chucky's tenderloin.
No, we don't have any of the Freddy's
for those for their fast food haulers or fast food restaurant chains. So but yeah, he does all the stuff for like the Cubs down in Arizona. They do their spring training. He's there. He goes all the NASCAR races with his Chucky's tenderloin trailer. They're phenomenal. So they're usually straight behind the grandstand. You usually can't miss them.
We'll be looking for that one then.
Yeah, yeah.
So we'll have to send him a bill for advertising his trailer here now, huh? Getting a little PR here. Nope. But I am looking forward to someplace new going pulling. You know, I don't, you know, because I'm on the board of Badger State, I don't get to visit many different places to go pulling with the time I have to dedicate to Badger State, but I do enjoy a new place to go. So I am looking forward to coming out there.
Yeah, it's fun. And I know you guys are going to like it. Once you cross Dubuque over there on 151, our roads are pretty straight. They're not Indian trails like you guys have to travel all the time.
Right. Well, I'm only 20 minutes from 151, so I'm on it the whole way then. So that'll be good.
Yeah, we go pulling up in Wisconsin a lot with the Two Hots and up there with Southwest and a few other clubs and whatnot. So yeah, we go up there fairly often. So we're not. We've been to Darlington before plenty of times, so we know how to get there.
Everybody knows how to get to Darlington. Yep, if you're a puller.
So,
that's if you've never been to Darlington, you're watching this show. If you want to go to a pull, that's a lot of fun. That's the one to go to.
Yep.
So,
but yeah, it'll be a good show tomorrow night. I think Wednesday night, and it'll be fun. So they get a pretty good crowd, and I think the crowd's going to like seeing something a little bit different than what they've typically had in the past. And, you know, seeing different iron is always fun for people. You know, you always see the same old, which is there's nothing wrong with that at all. But seeing something different once in a while is exciting.
Yep.
You enter and exit on a different road.
Yep. Yeah, if you go on that, if you got that map handy again, I can kind of show you what he means.
But well, yeah.
Yep.
Where do you exit?
On that, you see where on the top right of that picture, that's how you're going to enter the pits. And then when you exit, you can kind of see where the entrance is to the racetrack there in turns 3 and 4. When you exit, you'll be going straight in front of those livestock barns straight out. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So that will be like 15th Street or something.
Yeah, I don't know what it is exactly, but they'll show you when it's time to go. So there'll be somebody there that'll kind of point you in the right direction. So
okay, perfect.
Yep.
You got anything else, Stacy? You want to ask or comment on?
I don't have anything to add other than I'm very excited to be heading to a new venue. I think it's going to be great. I think all the Badger State pullers are going to like it because it's going to be something someplace they've never been to before.
Yep.
And Ryan, I think you expressed that the crowd and the fair board and everybody, they're going to enjoy seeing different iron too. And of course, I'm a pull fan also. I like seeing different iron. I'll go to different places to watch different stuff. So it should be an exciting day.
It's going to bring in stuff from that doesn't typically come this way. I mean, you got guys from Missouri, probably Illinois, Missouri. Maybe even out west. I don't know, showing up to come play. So
Yep. I was talking to Doug Ruth was up at the house the other day, but they have a pull this night too because I for the fan or what do they call that out there, fantasy or something? Something different name of a club out that they started. Excalibur, yes, that's what it was. And and I think a couple of them guys are going to go to that one, I would imagine. But I think we're going to get a few new guys up here, and it isn't about new tractors too; it's about meeting new people, that you've never met before.
Yep,
it is. You're making new friends and stuff like that. And honestly, that's what we're there for. Yeah, we all want to pull, and I welcome the chance to RJ and Brandon Simon to come and pull us. Them guys are top notch. If you can compete with them, you've done something.
Absolutely.
And Jason Round has been kicking everybody's butt in Badger State, all year. So we have to get around him too. Then so it's a lot of fun. And Tim and Jason and that crew there, they've been a great addition to our club. Really, I mean, just phenomenal pullers and competitors and good guys.
Tim's probably working on that stuff right now, or he's sleeping. I know he's had to do a lot of wrenching on those tractors the last week.
Oh yeah. If you're gonna have 3 pro stocks, I heard they have a 4th one they're trying to get out. I mean, you're crazy. It's not right upstairs.
I think he said the other day they're supposed to have all 4 there on Wednesday night. So.
Oh my goodness. Well, that's cool. You get a couple. Yeah. Yep.
So heck, there's a chance you might have like 10 tractors from Iowa that live 20 miles away coming to play on Wednesday night.
Yep.
Nice.
That'll be fun.
Should be fun. Should be fun. Hopefully we'll have good weather. And whose sled are we having there?
You're going to have the X Factors Bungart sled. I'm not sure which color one it's going to be, or if it's going to be Ed or
I've heard it's Brandon this year.
Yep.
Because of the pro stocks. He said he wants to look at the pro stock.
Yeah, Greg, you might want to make a note of that for the hook issue.
Yep, I'm texting Brandon as soon as we're done with the show here and ask him about his hook and make sure it's going to work.
Right.
We had a couple pro stocks in Darlington that Johnny's hook wouldn't have worked in. So.
Yeah.
Ryan,
I got a simple question for you. Are we running one track or two?
It's a one track show.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So I don't quite think there's enough room there to do 2 tracks. I know a couple years ago they might have been able to make it, but they poured some concrete in front of the stage there just due to weather over the years, and with their big concerts, it turned into kind of a mud hole. So, but you still got 40 foot of track easily with maybe 50 foot. You got plenty of room. You'll be totally fine. So,
okay.
So everything's within spec and plenty of lineup staging room and plenty of runoff room. Oh yeah, you'll be just fine.
Well, looking forward to it, Ryan. I want to thank you for coming on the show here and telling us all about it. And I'm pretty excited to go, and I know a bunch of other guys are too. Go someplace different, see some different people. So
should be there both nights on tomorrow night and Wednesday. So
okay.
So I'm excited myself. So
yeah.
All right.
Ryan, thanks for jumping on and giving us a bunch of insight on everything. And good luck to you guys' East Central show tomorrow night.
We should have a good show, I think. So like I said, I think we're gonna have a lot of crossover from guys. I think gonna come and make a 2-night swing out of it. And both ways, and come down on tomorrow night and stay for Wednesday, and I'm sure they're looking forward to eating plenty of food and so because I think limited pros and light limited supers and 2-wheel drive mods, I think are going to be pretty heavy in numbers, I think. So,
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right.
So, yeah, it'll be fun.
Well, thanks for coming on, and thanks
You
everybody
bet.
for watching. I want to thank our sponsors, Hillsborough Equipment, Ed Casper Ag Services, Matt Castor of Front Street Toys, and Trip Downing, all for sponsoring our show. Thank you again, guys. And
hey, Greg.
Thanks for coming on. We'll see you Wednesday night in Monticello, Iowa.
Hey, Greg.
And Thursday night in Monroe, and Saturday night in Hellenville, or Friday night in Hellenville. Sorry.
Friday in Hellenville.
3 nights in a row. Thanks, guys.
Yep. Sounds good. So long, everybody.
Thank you.